Sorry, it's in date. Luckily. Now, have I got a treat for you today, Mr. Hackett?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, real treat. Now, I have in my possession the original recipe for Coronation chicken. The original recipe, not the bastardized recipe. Can I say that? I'm allowed to say that, aren't I? Well, it's a word. It's not a bad word. That goes around and this is the proper recipe. Now, I was very fortunate to go to the Cordon Bleu and learn how to cook many years ago. And the original founders of the Cordon Bleu in London were Constance Fry and Rosemary Hume. And they did the Coronation breakfast, wedding breakfast. Oh, no, that's not wedding breakfast. Sorry, the Coronation meal for the Queen, okay? And this is the recipe in this file, because these are all my recipes from my time. Oh, look at all these. I've got to do some of these recipes. They're fabulously retro. They really are. I mean, some of them are just, you just wouldn't do nowadays, but I just want to do them because, you know, there's a lot of aspic in them as well. A lot of aspic involved in some of the stuff. But this is the original recipe and it's called Chicken Elizabeth, okay? Chicken Elizabeth. And I just thought I'm going to have a look at the proper recipe, and because I have been doing my version of it for so many years. And actually, some of this recipe is the base of my curry sausage rolls, which are very famous. If you Google sausage rolls, by the way, Google curried sausage rolls. I'm at the top. Anyway, so I'm going to do this for you today, as much as I can, to the original recipe. All right. A couple of things I might not do in there, mainly because I haven't got it, or it's just a bit too heavy. And I did put whipped cream in this, and I just kind of think at the moment, yeah, may as well just put that on my bottom, really, the amount of cheese that I've been eating, just slap it on there. So, yeah, we're going to go with a little bit, something a bit lighter, a bit of yoghurt instead. But anyway, so what you do is you get yourself...
That file is amazing.
Oh, yes, file. Look at it. All these recipes.
Is that all hand typed?
All hand typed. This is in early 1980s and 70s. Look at it. Look at all these lovely recipes. And, you know, there's things in here which, I mean, you just wouldn't write recipes like this nowadays anyway. But things are measured in gills, which are 5 fluid ounces. Tablespoons, it's all pints, gills. So what you do when you're recording on your phone is you turn your phone sound off, so when a telephone call comes in it doesn't make a noise and you have to cut the whole thing.
Well, the phone call cut the video off. Nothing to do with the volume. So you were explaining?
I was explaining the pounds and ounces, gills and tablespoon stuff. It's nothing metric in here at all. I trained in all of the old-fashioned weights. I'm only just now, at the tender age of 27, have I managed to... You just went over that. You didn't even
No, I
pick
was
up
going
on
to come
that,
back and say that obviously by that, gills and gills and whatever, just shows how old you are.
They were doing it in pecks in your day, my love, wasn't it? Pecks, hundredweight, sovereigns. Yeah, anyway, right, so this is my lovely, this is lovely. We also had a couple of other books that we worked from, Penguin books, Cakes and Puddings one, and the Ordinary, the thick one, and I've still got those books. They don't have covers anymore, they've got all my writing in them, and I will never let go of them because they're just lovely, they've lost pages and everything. So I just feel very, very attached to all of this. Right, Coronation chicken. So, in here, I have just poached some chicken breasts, as we found in the bottom of the freezer. Ideally, you make this with a whole chicken. You take all the meat off a whole roasted chicken. But we're a bit short of that at the moment, so we found these will do. Poach them in some water with a bit of celery, bay leaf, thyme and parsley, okay, just to give a little bit of flavour to it all. And this is really good just to, if you want to cook some rice in it, you know, don't get rid of it, because you don't make it hang around for a few days, but it's quite good to cook rice or pasta in. It's got flavour. Just going to leave that to cool, and then while that's cooling, in here I've got some chopped onion and a little bit of salad oil, as they say. Actually, I've just used a bit of rapeseed.
Salad oil?
Salad oil, sunflower oil, they just call it salad oil. We didn't have any olive oil in here at all. Olive oil was for your ears, wasn't it? To help you with an ear infection. You bought it at the chemist, olive oil. There's no olive oil mentioned in any of these recipes that I've seen. Salad oil. So I'm going to fry this, okay? till they're softened, and then you're going to come back and I'm going to show what else goes in there. So they've cooked 3 to 4 minutes, and actually I've managed to do it without colouring them, which is what you want to do, because I kept my eye on the ball. About a dessert spoon, it says, of curry powder. I'm doing a tablespoon and a bit. I want a little bit more punch, I think. And this is just a medium curry powder. So you see, really, a lot of the recipes as well, I never had all the different spices separated in it. So you would have just used the curry powder. Things just, they weren't as readily available, really, back in the day. So the curry powder goes in. And then some tomato puree, literally the last of this tube, but I only need about a teaspoon, so that's worked out quite well. Then some water, about 4 tablespoons of water. I'm being very precise here. 4 tablespoons of water. 1, 2, 3, 4. And some red wine. Well, if we had red wine, but you drank it all. So I've got some rosé, which will do, won't it? Just as good.
Reddish.
Lovely. I'm not actually trying to use too much. It's too nice. Lovely, lovely. Oh, how much? Yeah, about a glass of red wine.
What, your sort of glass or a normal glass?
Well, if it was my sort of glass, it'd be half, wouldn't it, of the rosé wine? We'll just put that in. In those days, the glasses were about that big, weren't they? So I'm now going to put this back on the stove and cook this for about 5 to 10 minutes, okay, until it's sort of reduced down a little bit. Then that is going to be left to cool, because this is now the curry paste, which we're going to leave to cool. But first, before you cool it, you actually put apricot puree into it and you strain it. You take all of the lumps out, so it's just the sauce that we're using, none of the onion bits. And I'm kind of presuming that's because the Queen wouldn't have wanted onion in her teeth when she was sitting down chatting to everyone. In here, this is cooked down and a lot of the liquid has come off. I haven't put the puree in, so I just wanted to talk about it. And I know this is going to make the film a little bit longer, but it's worth it. When, in this recipe, it calls for apricot puree, and that would have been made by rehydrating dried apricots with a little bit of water and lemon zest, and then cooking them, whizzing them, and passing them through a sieve. So it would have been a really intense flavour of apricot. I haven't got those, I haven't got dried apricots. So what I've done is I've used some tinned apricots, and I've added a little bit of apricot jam to it. You could do either or, but the tinned apricots don't have quite enough flavour, and I didn't want to add too much of the apricot jam to make it too sweet, so I've done half and half. I'm now going to stir that in. I also put into this a squeeze of lemon juice as well. So you stir all of that together, and then we're going to pass this through a sieve into a bowl. Rice salad. I've used the basmati rice with all the wild rice grains and things because that's all we've got. And actually you quite like it now, the brown basmati, don't you?
It's not bad.
Yeah. And so obviously it would have just been plain long-grained rice when we originally did it. It would have had peas in the salad. So I've just cooked the rice, strained it off, and then I just tossed in some olive oil, vinegar, a little bit of honey. I made a French dressing, so it's just had a French dressing. It's always quite good to add when it's still slightly warm, the rice, because it really absorbs the flavour then. And it would have just had peeled red tomatoes in it. I haven't peeled a tomato since 1984, and I don't intend to start today, but I've got these lovely Isle of Wight tomatoes, so I'm going to put those in to the salad to give some colour. And also you would have put in the red peppers that you get in the jars, okay, the roasted red peppers in slices. They go in, they are traditional to this salad. And it also would have had carrots in it, but I'm not doing carrots. Not doing carrots in this salad. All right, so just stir that all through. You can see that it's taken all that lovely colour. It's got great flavour to it, salt and pepper in there. So that rice salad is ready for the final chicken to happen. So the chicken. I have shredded the chicken there, right? Now it's been cooked, and I'm just going to make the sauce. Do you remember I passed the onion mixture, curry mixture through a sieve? So we've got this lovely sauce there. It's got a great sweetness to it as well. And the apricots really come through. Now, what you would have is homemade mayonnaise, which I would have made myself. As you can see, I popped it into a jar. So homemade mayo. And you stir the sauce in bit by bit to the mayonnaise, and then you stir in some whipped cream. But I'm not doing the whipped cream, as I said, so I'm just going to put a little bit of this natural yoghurt in. So first of all, by degrees, add the sauce. Really powerful sauce. It's a really gentle dish, okay, so you kind of got like a background of all the spices there, and it's a simple dish. I know there's lots of I've made it simpler than it originally was, and I know it's got different stages to it, but it is worth it because this recipe I think is the best version that you'll find. Quite stroppy earlier, John. Are you feeling a bit better now?
Yeah, I've had a cup of tea now.
All right, so I think that looks about right. Pop the chicken in. There we go. Just mix it with all of those ingredients.
And I guess once you've tasted it now, if you think it could do with more curry paste, you can add a bit more.
Yeah, and I think I might just add a little bit more. But we'll see. I didn't want to make it too sloppy either. That's why I'm adding it by degrees. I didn't want it to be a really runny sauce. So just adding more liquid onto liquid, but I think they're about right. So can I taste it now?
Yeah.
See if it's okay. I'll do it properly with a teaspoon. That's so lovely. As I said, I'll just put the last bit in. Look, there's hardly any in there. It's such a gentle dish, this. It's not going to hit you between the eyes with chilli or spices. It's just gentle and really very lovely. All right, so now putting it all together, this is how we would have done it. We would have taken a plate. I'm going to use this round one, and then you put some rice salad on the plate like so. Spread it around and make a little circle in the middle.
Would you have used a rice ring?
Well, I don't think I would have done it for this, no. You could do, but this rice I don't think would stick terribly well. And that's all you need to do is like this anyway. So you've got your perfect ring, okay? Just take it a bit wider to fit the chicken in. And then you steam your chicken into the middle. Okay. This is fabulous.
That's so retro.
It is. And this is the Coronation chicken. This is Chicken Elizabeth. This is how you would have had it. Certainly the way that I was cooking it for a long time. This is one of our favourite dishes that we took out of the place. And because I haven't got any watercress, ideally you'd have a big bunch of watercress on the top because that's how you would have garnished it. But I'm going to go equally retro with a good blob of parsley in the middle as well. Okay, there you go. That is Chicken Elizabeth Coronation chicken. Done. I think I'm going to do some more recipes from this file. What do you think? Do you think anyone would like to see them? Do you think some of them should perhaps...
I think we could talk about them.
No, I think we should do some. I won't do any of the aspic ones though, because I left aspic behind in 1984 too. But I think there are some fun dishes in there that I think I might have a little go at. Anyway, let me know if you want me to. There we go, darling, that's supper.